there was something about the melodies back then. It's become about the algorithm right now. But I'm saying you can't go by algorithm. You have to go, what's it making you feel right now, this song?
I've stopped seeking any kind of validation from anyone कि अगर वो award मिलता है तो मैं बहुत अच्छी actress हूँ, otherwise शायद नहीं ऐसा नहीं.
She's also one of the few actors that comes on time, like me, so there was no problems there.
अभी भी लोग टाइम पे नहीं आ रहे.
अरे कुछ लोग तो आते ही नहीं. अगर बहुत टाइम पे नहीं आते.
आपका बॉलीवुड एक तरफ.
You can end the interview by saying it's okay. I won't complain.
Yami, Imran, it's so lovely to have you at the Hollywood Reporter India studio. I hope you both had a great Diwali.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You were just talking about how much you have
I've eaten last night and I won't eat for the next 24 hours. So yeah.
Listen, we're here to talk about your upcoming film Haq. But uske pehle, Imran, I have to say to you that you as an intimacy coordinator in Bads was just the highlight for me of that show. It's a genius idea.
It's a genius idea.
But I love that you were okay to sort of, you know, take a pot shot at yourself and your stereotype and your, you know, the cliche about you.
Yes.
Have you always been easy or has it come?
Easy with the
Easy with just like, you know,
the imaging
fine.
and
with the imaging,
the stereotype of it.
Yeah.
If I hadn't been, I don't think I would have juiced it out for almost 14 years of my career. But through and through, I started realizing it's a bit of a gift to me. It's a bit of a curse also. Because gift in the sense, of course, I was playing up to the image. Producers were raking in the money because that was what was, pitched to the audience, and films were doing spectacularly well at the box office. But then you start yearning for something more through and through your career. I think what started happening is that it started taking center stage in films. In an extremely conservative society, we've become slightly better, but we still are. But back then, in the early 2000s, I think it became the focal point. Script, screenplay, acting, everything was second to, he's done it so many times in the film, he's kissed, and he's not kissed in this film. So in that sense, it was a bit of an irritant, but you gotta have a bit of sense of humor about it. And what people actually saw in that was a kind of vintage version of me that people were yearning for. And for me, it was like serving the same dish to them over and over again 15 years. I was like, okay, I'm putting the same ingredients, I'm making the same dish. I'm bored myself. So let me try my hand at something else. So I think the gap also worked because you're like, we want to see this guy again. Which worked thankfully because I've got a couple of films which kind of play up to that image now. So this is a good segue into that.
Yeah. Nice. You know, the other thing I really like while I was researching for this interview, I was looking at your old interviews and stuff, and both of you talked about how you're not fussed about being solo leads. Of course, in Haq, you are both the solo leads, right? But you said, Yami, that for me, it's a challenging role. I'm not insistent that I have to be a solo lead. And you quoted Stanislavski, who very famously said, there are no small parts, there are only small actors, right? So I think that's such a holistic way to approach a script. But when you guys are reading scripts, how do you gauge that, okay, I have X number of scenes and yet I'm going to be able to make an impact? Because I'm guessing the dream here is to do a Dame Judi Dench, right? 8 minutes since Shakespeare in Love ended with an Oscar, right? So Yami, when you see a script, what do you think, like how do you gauge what is the impact of your character?
First of all, I'm really scared of past interviews. Sometimes you're like, okay, what did I say?
Did I say that?
Did I really say that? Oh
I
wow,
was
I
surprised
said
when
that.
she said Stanislavski. I was like, oh my god. Okay.
You know, as of course you move in life, you've had your own shares of experiences, good, bad, really bad, or you've seen it almost all, and yet there's so much more to explore. I think one of the most important things that experience has taught me, or I'm still learning, is my lensing of how I see a script or I gauge a script. I think that's really shifted. And all I'm looking for is, as much as possible, an original idea. I think that's something which is really important for us scripts. And a great part. I don't think I divide the script or overthink so much. The moment I'm done reading, so I love reading a script, I don't take narrations because the life to me, I cannot understand narrations. I think if it's a good film, it's a well-written script, all your answers, everything lies in that script. If your writer or director has the ability to give you an ambience, it's all there in the script, a good one. And whatever's my first thought, whether it's one of the parts or it's the part or you're reading it or it's a hug, I think that first thought is always the purest, and I stick to
Pehla instinct.
Pehla instinct, and I stick to it. If it's a no, now I don't try and convince myself that why should I do it. I don't want to do projects. I think that's one thing I've understood. It may work for someone, but I think right now we're in dire need of good original ideas.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why a Kantara is for example, is such an iconic film today. There are multiple reasons, and I think one of the reasons is the originality. It's so true. So I'm looking for that. I don't think my lensing is bifurcating or dissecting too much into anything. If I'm sure about my part, if I'm sure about the director, and that excites me as an actor, yaar, ye karna hai. And not just for the heck of making some PR lines that this is the most challenging role. Challenging सब करते हैं, मेहनत सभी करते हैं. But आप किस direction में आप क्या कर रहे हैं? I think that's really important. So that clarity is something I like to stick to.
And for you, Imran, is it also first instinct?
I'm selfish. I would want to do the best part in the film. And I truly believe that sometimes it's not the quantity or the duration of the role.
Correct. It's not the
Sometimes
number of scenes.
maximum
right?
impact to come in 2 scenes or 3 scenes. I mean, it's testament to the fact you see something like Bads. It's a cameo that blew up with a few lines, and that line is now following me everywhere.
Yes.
So you don't know what sticks.
Just read those lines.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what sticks with the audience. You don't know what they pick up. I think you go with the core instinct of what is the impact that the character is creating in circumstances in the film. Sometimes the arc of that character, even if it's in 3 or 4 scenes, could have more than the protagonist because there's something there. There's you probably empathize with that character more, or it comes and is just kind of this explosion on screen and it goes, and then you're yearning for more. Sometimes it's that bit of imagination, like we wish we wanted more of this. Sometimes you overstay your welcome where you're there for so many scenes, but then it's kind of labored. So I think for me, that is what makes... And for me, a lot of people have said it's kind of suicidal for me. I end up doing these films in the middle of commercial films, that have breaking money at the box office. For example, Shanghai. I wanted to work with Diwakar after seeing Khosla.
And you were so good in it.
And that was not the main lead per se. It was an ensemble. And people were telling me, why are you doing this film? Why are you doing it in the middle of a murder, Raz, Jannat, Once Upon a Time Mumbai? Why would you do this? I just felt I want to work with Diwakar. It gave me something that the other films didn't give me. I think going into that character, doing those workshops, I told these people that when I come out of this film, the other films that I do, it will just add something to my kind of frequency as an actor. It sharpens you.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a rarity in our industry. In our industry, people don't want to do a certain kind of a film. It's only the hero, not the heroine-oriented, the female-oriented scripts. They'll stay clear of that. They won't go into darker characters. But I have, for the large part of my career, played the risk taker on screen. I've played the anti-hero in all my films, and it's kind of worked for me. So that in itself was a risky path that I set off, off on in the beginning. So I think it's your psyche. It's the way your temperament is.
It's what you work best with.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Haq, right? This is a fictionalized account of largely the Shah Bano case, which was 1985. I mean, absolutely sort of legal milestone in the country. But I'm wondering, when you first got that script, what convinced you that all of this is still relevant? I mean, this is 40 years ago, right? What happened? So what made you say, yes, we need to tell this story? Yami?
I've studied law for a very brief time as a student, and I think this has to be one of the most discussed cases, not just for the legal reasons, but how it kind of altered the political climate at that time. That its ripple effect is still stands valid and true till today, whether we mention that in the film or not. But Shah Bano case, I think it was a landmark in its way for really varied reasons. And so one was that, you know, when you go back to a time where this was something which you would also jump into the discussion and debate, whatever understanding, you know, we had. I mean, there was no internet. I think even in not much. It wasn't very popular culture. Whatever information you had through newspapers and print media, you know, it was right there. So it kind of, you know, it becomes even more special that something that you've grown up listening to or talking about or you're interested in, now here you are sitting as an actor and getting an opportunity. It's not a biopic. It's not. It's a film which is inspired by that case, but remotely somewhere it's around that time. And today, while you and I, we have a mic, we can express ourselves, we're educated, or whatever fields we're in, we can be ourselves. We're talking about back in 70s and 80s where things were very different. It's so easy today and say, oh, why do you have to ask for maintenance? You know, you can work on your own. Sure, yes. But looking at her background, looking at who she was, and sometimes in the most adverse situations, how they can challenge you and they can really make you realize your own true potential that you were probably not familiar with yourself. Sometimes you feel, I'm not capable to do this. I'm not capable to take a decision like that or to work, work like that. Or I think I'm going to crumble, but you don't. Right? There's something. So I thought that's a very powerful story, and it's about love. It is about separation. It's about, of course, what happened. What is it that makes it so iconic? And the fact that while today, yes, there's a wave of feminism, different meanings to it, different interpretation, but in true blue sense, I think she stands as an epitome of feminism, where regardless of your caste or which religion you are, you're someone who stood up for her right and did what she thought is the right thing for me and my children, not worrying or having the fear that what's going to happen. This is something which I feel from here that I should be. I thought it's a very powerful story, and at the same time, we're working in a film. It's not a documentary. You have to make it engaging. You have to make it worth people's time and money in today's time, especially to get them in theatre. So I thought from that aspect, I thought the script was really, really engaging, and then everything I think came together for the film, and I'm very fortunate to have gotten part of that. I got to be a part of this compelling story.
Yeah, and of course, Imran, we're going to be rooting for her, right?
Yeah.
So-
Completely.
Oh, well, there is a part in the film, of course, we can't talk about it right now, but it is so fair, it is so correct that you won't feel कि अच्छा end में तो यही होगा. It's I don't think it's like that, and you'll know that point when you will watch the film. He's also right from his whatever that stance or whatever that situation is in the film. So it's not lopsided कि अच्छा ऐसा करना है तो वो ही चीज let's you're seeing it going in that direction.
Yeah.
You've tried to keep it very balanced, and then you take your call.
I think the way I see the film when I read the script, I knew a little bit about it. Of course, this landmark case in 1985, a film that a case that kind of stirred up things back then. It rattled the nation. It stirred up conversations about personal faith, constitutional rights. Who gets to define justice? How do you define it, and how does it affect the lives of ordinary people, especially of a woman who doesn't have the privilege of being heard? And it might be about history. It might be about something that happened in 1985. it's the past, but it's also the present. These are questions we are asking even today, and probably will be asking in the future. Because if you actually go down to see, I think every generation has its own share of Shah Banos and Ahmed Khans. You know,
Yeah.
people who are caught in this very, very complicated mix of love, religion, personal faith, justice. And she's played the character so well. You know, she's played the character with so much of strength and nuance. And it's not just a woman who's fighting for her rights in the courtroom. It's a woman who's actually standing up against society's barriers. And that's always been the case. We are predominantly a patriarchal society, whatever you say. I mean, I've seen a change even in our industry in the past 10, 15 years of how women have come and started some inclusiveness of women. But it's still a male-dominated situation, and there are so many women that are just left in the lurch after a divorce. Men use this and weaponize it. Things like tradition, their interpretation of what personal faith is to them, what it means to them, and they hide behind the garb of that, and it costs a woman her dignity at the end of it. Right? So these are ongoing problems. This is not something of the past. So I think the way Suparn Reshu, the way she's written it, I think what they have seen is an unflinching, a very, very neutral point of view of this case. And coming back to this, you are rooting for her, but then Ahmed is a guy who, from his point of view, is doing the right thing because he is looking at it from his tradition, his perspective of his personal faith. Although a bit skewed, I don't want to get into the details of this because it can get really murky, but people use it to their convenience sometimes.
Yeah.
And I won't sit here and justify the character, but it helps me understand the character.
Correct. Which you have to.
It understands the character, and that's the wonderful part of being an actor. You can step into someone's conflict without taking a side.
Yeah.
So there are no heroes and villains in this film. Like she said, yeah, you will step out of the theatre, know that this is a divided thing of personal justice and fighting for constitutional rights, which is all-encompassing. But it's such a tricky thing because personal faith is a very sacrosanct, a very sacred thing. Your constitutional rights are something that everyone has as citizens. It's a kind of universal thing. So it's always this tug of war between
So
these two things.
did you guys have any concerns? Because, like you said, Anand, this was a very contentious case, right? And there was, sort of it polarized.
Yeah.
Completely, because there's Muslim personal law, there's religion, there's a woman's rights, and the truth is, a judgment was passed by the Supreme Court and then retracted. Right? There was a complete turnaround, and the judgment was blunted and muted. Did the two of you have any concerns about how you portray so much thorny material? Right?
I have, sorry, I don't know if she has, but I have haunted my director, and it still goes on to this day. I have frantic calls with him. I think, Suparn, how is this going to be? How am I going to be viewed in this film? And I hope I'm not going to get brickbats. I probably will, but you know the thing is, either you care about Twitter trends, or either you make a good film. When you're making a film that's asking hard questions, that's provoking the audience, that's challenging them, you're going to face this.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying this on the onset. I love the praise. I'm prepared for brickbats. It's a film which divided the nation that time. It's a film where you step out of the hall and you'll be slightly polarized on which way you're going. But if a film like this doesn't do that, then you're being very disingenuous.
Yeah.
The audience into the process of filmmaking. That's my take on it.
Nami, were you concerned? Did you haunt the director?
See, whenever, if I'm choosing willingly, which of course it is, to be a part of a film or portray a character which is inspired by a real life person who was there in public domain, or be it a political figure, be it in this case Shah Bano, be it, I've also done an Article 370, I've done an Uri. You cannot work out of fear. You have to be fearless. You have to stand by the story you're telling with the right intention in your heart. It cannot, an audience can see that this is a film which has been made to, maybe what you're trying to say, to stir something on purpose, and this is a story which the director is telling you verbatim how he wants to tell you, without the fear, and at the same time without making a film. Right? As I said, it's not a documentary; it's a film. There are technicians. There's the technique. There's writing. There's performance. You're telling a story. So you cannot harbor. You cannot work out of fear. कि ये क्या होगा. Of course, we still don't know what's going to happen. You can never tell the trends, as he said, and you can't predict people's sentiment. But I do know one thing for sure: if you have the right bent of mind, if you have the right intention, and the talent, and the courage to tell that story, then you stand by it. Then you can't go back. Then you go all in.
Second guess, right?
You can't. Then you go all in.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was on the opposite side. I said, listen, it's fine. कुछ नहीं होगा. See, we've all come on board. We've all had the script. We've all said yes to it because we believed in something. Of course, there are certain things. There's so many things that you can tell in a story, but you can't show from every perspective. Is it necessary to show everything? No. Can I still tell my story without that? Yes. That's a choice which Rish or Suparn, or if a core member has a concern, must discuss. I think discussion is, if you don't discuss a film, be it before or us and later the audience, what's the point of making a film if there's no discussion?
Yeah.
So the idea is to invoke a discussion and not a debate. The idea is to make a film and not a project. The idea is to present something which we believe from our heart and passion, and get the audience back in theatres, and it should be worth their, as I said, time, fun.
Also I'd like to add to this that films like this are so few and far between because there's a lot of censorship on a script stage also these days.
Of course, yeah.
Because it could be OTT, it could be theatrical films. Everyone is scared of saying the truth because they don't want to offend people, or they don't want to offend a certain section. And that's the depth of creativity. If you're going to go down that rabbit hole, you will never make an honest film. And this film is asking very pertinent questions about, women's voices, power of truth, the resilience of human spirit, and also the perspective of some people of their personal faith. So it's kind of tricky, but I think when I read the script, see, I'm an actor, I'm also a Muslim. That also was a perspective that I had to bring into this. I'm like, and I saw that there was certain honesty in which the script was written. There was a very, very neutral point of view, of almost like placing the camera in the homes of these two people, of the love that goes down this rocky path, leads to this squabble, this clash in the courtroom, and that becoming national news and became this, kind of reflection of our society and what it entailed. So it was a very unheld back, but yes, it is uncomfortable. It is going to haunt people. That is the nature of this film. But at the same time, it's not just that message wali film.
Correct.
It's a deeply emotional film.
Yeah.
It's about these two individuals who were in love, and it will hit you hard. It'll hit you hard through the film, even in the courtroom scenes. Even though this man is fighting, you might think he's a demon or whatever. You see a certain humane side of him, right?
Yeah.
So.
Which is nice, right? Because it's too easy to just have black and white.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's too easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if we, but this is of course very much a two-hander, right? The dramatic tension, the heavy lifting is the two of you. So was there sort of a healthy competition between the two when you were making?
Always. Trying to eat up Yami's lines and cover her lines.
No, I really, it's an opportunity also. I think interviews is also an opportunity. Of course, we are asked about your experiences. There are times where we've lied also.
I'm sure.
Always.
But I made it a point. Not that I can control anything. It's not in your hands. But I've been on the other side, and I really want to work with people and with whom it's not about being comfortable. It's about people with whom you share a certain wavelength in terms of your respect for your craft. And that respect of craft entails a lot of things. That's not just being a good actor. For me, the definition of a great co-actor is not, okay, how many jokes you're cracking jokes and you're having fun. I mean, having fun is how much of respect you have for your work, how much of a professional you are in terms of time, in terms of punctuality, in terms of really supporting your co-actor in the best way, and that is doing your own part right and wishing that the scene comes out together.
Correct. It's the bigger picture.
It's the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's not me, it's not him, it's us. And I was so fortunate. Of course, we'd not worked before. We didn't have any workshops or reading. We just had one reading.
Yeah,
I
just
think,
one reading.
and that's it. And of course, I'd seen his work. I knew what an actor Imran is. But it's very different, when you work with someone closely. Sometimes, they say you should meet your heroes.
Might be disappointed.
But I must say that he's been one of the best co-actors I've worked with. I say this to everyone. And I really mean it. Someone it shows the reason why he's been, like you said, working for over 15 years and he's being loved.
22 actually.
Yeah. And
2003. Footpath.
2003. Footpath, 22 years.
Yeah.
22 years.
Yeah.
So, you feel happy for such people when they get all the love and success. You root for them. Whether it's not about, are we friends? Do we talk? No, we don't.
Yeah.
But silently, somebody is there who's rooting and wishing well for you. And I'm definitely there. I'll do that for Imran because he's one of the best actors. We feel like we fit. We are just, when we're talking about a scene, we're just talking about a scene. I'm asking him, you think this works? Should we do one more? You think, yeah, of course, let's do it. करके देखते हैं क्या होता है. Without the fear of being judged, without the fear of, अरे वही छोटी मोटी वो उसकी line मुझसे.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to not believe it until I
Experienced
experienced it
actors
myself. I said,
Yeah.
I think so.
Do tell.
Just between all of
Yeah,
us.
just between us.
between us.
5 cameras here,
I'm
they're
like-
rolling right now.
And that feeling is very draining. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's fine. You condition yourself that don't expect so of anyone. We don't. That's okay. But that's a very draining feeling.
Correct.
I don't think shooting tires you. Even if you're shot for X number of hours, but you've created something that you're all happy creating together, you're satisfied, right? And I think Haq has been, fortunately, for one of those experiences and very thankful to Imran.
Yummy, thank you so much.
Were you fearing I'm going to say this? Akka Bollywood ek taraf, Imran Hashmi.
You can end the interview by saying it's okay. I won't complain. No, but this is mutual admiration society. But I actually heard about her before I shot for the film. But I think I expected all of this, the kind of professionalism, and she's also one of the few actors that comes on time, like me. So there was no problems there.
अभी भी लोग टाइम पे नहीं आ रहे.
अरे कुछ लोग तो आते ही नहीं. Forget about time पे नहीं आते. कुछ लोग बस just they call the shoot off. And I've
this still
very
be
early on
happening?
I've done this. I want to work with people where I'm enjoying the process.
Yeah.
Where I don't have to think about it. It dissipates your energy. You're working according to someone else's clock. So I want to work with people like this. And she, like she said, it's like a dance. It's not like you on 2 separate teams. You're on the same team.
Yeah.
And what I realized when I was working with her is that we're so like-minded. The tone and frequency of the scene, how that should be. No fuss, come, give your takes, go back and do your thing. That's always been my process. And yeah, I think it was just phenomenal working with her. And I have to say this about her performance in the film. I think the way she's played it, there's an entertaining performance which she's brought out, and it's very difficult to bring that with a very emotional, understated quality also, which I think she's tapped into when she's playing Mano. And seeing that as an actor, I learned a lot. Seeing her portray that character that way. So, no, ज़्यादा नहीं हुआ है. Actually, इससे ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. But she's really performed in that. And we were really sweating it. I think I was sweating it more than her in the final courtroom scene. I won't talk about it. But she was she's already done this before. I was anxious because I'm playing a lawyer.
Correct.
For the first time. And you have these 6-7 page monologues. And I kept on asking her that, Yummy, you've played a lawyer. What if you screw up, sorry, pardon the French, if you screw up on the 20th line? So, yeah, then you gotta go back into the entire thing again. So I'm like, shit, 6 pages.
The fun bit was we both are asking, you want to go? So Suparna left it on us. That जगह हुई है कोर्ट में perform करना है, तो who wants to go first? So
पहले आप.
You want to go? So both of us are prepared. But Imran was like,
I think
have
eventually we got it in 1 or 2 takes.
you got it. Both of us got it
Yeah,
in one.
yeah,
take.
yeah.
Both of us
So
got it in
I
one.
think we were so
take.
scared that we
Yeah,
overprepared and we got it.
We
मतलब
both of us.
रट्टा मार के आए थे.
Yeah, completely. ICSE students. Are you ICSE?
ICSE, yeah.
Always helps. The mugging.
The mugging.
No.
Yes,
It
it
helped
is a
here.
superpower.
It helped here.
It is a superpower. But you know, earlier you were talking about how actors don't want to do films that are so much about women. Right? Whatever you call them, the female-led film
Yeah.
or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. I find these phrases
It's
very
very
odd.
stupid.
It's very
Yeah.
odd. Like, what
Myopic and
is
stupid.
there a male-led film? Like,
Yeah.
it's all very odd. But for you as an actor, is that something that doesn't come into play at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. I mean, it goes back to the same question you asked first. You could be doing a 5-minute role in the film, a 10-minute role in the film. It could be a cameo piece. But if you like it, then you should be part of it. And I'll be honest, when I heard the script, I was like, Supan, I wish I was a woman. I wish I could have played Bano. But theek hai, I won't be part of this film. I'll play Ahmed. Because there was so much. You know, see, being a feminist doesn't mean you have to always play righteous heroes history.
Of course not.
You can throw the spotlight on some kind of injustice where these things happen in society, but you are doing your role as a feminist. So I completely endorse that. And with everything, I think playing Ahmed also has been a fulfilling experience for me, kind of portraying that. Even though it's someone else's victory, eventually, because people know the core things, it still is a realization or not. You have to see it in that. But it helped me understand the character, like I said early on. So this female, women-centric, and I think there should be more films of that, because I don't know why they aren't, because they are very successful films and she's been part of them also. But I think more actors should be a little more, heroes should be a little more, the bandwidth kind of expanded to do that. But I think it comes from insecurity. Insecurity, bit of ego, and it's only like the male counterpart's viewpoint in the film, all that. Yes. So,
But ये कब जाएगा?
I don't know when our society changes. Hopefully, this film will start a few more conversations in that vein. But I don't know. I'll ask you this question. What do you feel? When would we have more female-oriented films?
No, because see, we have them, right? I mean, look, it's been an incredible change from when I began, which was early 90s.
Yeah, of
Right?
course.
So it's, the glass is very half full. I'm not complaining at all. It's
Yeah.
wonderful how many exciting female actors there are, opportunities there are, all of it. And directors, technicians, women DOPs. Like,
Yeah, of course.
when I started, like, you couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I saw 2003. There were no women on the set.
Bilkul nahi.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So we've come a long way. But this bit of male actors being too fragile to play a second lead. When Gravity released, Alfonso Cuarón's film,
Yeah.
right? In which George Clooney just floats away
Yeah.
and it's Sandra Bullock's film,
Yeah.
right? And I think it must be more than 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And I remember having this conversation with so many male actors that when do we make that film? Where a star of the stature of George Clooney is willing
Yeah, exactly.
to be that support to a
Exactly.
Sandra Bullock narrative.
Yeah.
And it was all very humming, hawing, and no,
Yeah.
we're still not there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the sense of culture is very different. While we have all these examples, even going back to your previous question when you asked about choosing your scripts and the center part and all that, when you're starting especially when you're starting your career, or you're still in the salad days of your career, to be very honest, ma'am, how even reviews are written. You are scared that, if I die in a part, for the longest time I had to battle that. I said, but Kabul was a really good film, which now people I think appreciate more than even audience appreciated even way back then. So no complaints from the audience for sure. But you fear what is being written about. So that it's really a hand-in-hand game. It's not just something to do just with one department. I don't think audience is the problem here. I think audience really wants to watch just a really good film, right? I think it's our own sense of culture that it's अगर cameo किया या छोटा role किया तो ये फिर छोटे ही role के लिए है.
Correct.
अच्छा,
You
ये
get
film में
labeled.
You get labeled. And not everyone. And you've also seen somebody probably, I'm not trying to get this conversation in someone from the industry or outside or insider, but we've seen how very closely how certain actors will still be favored and written good about, even if it's like literally a 20 minutes job, right? Which is okay. I'm saying everyone has the right to exist and do whatever it takes, works for them. But it's a sense of culture then we'll have to...
It's a larger thing.
Which
Yeah.
we'll have to inculcate, and sometimes it takes generations.
Of course.
Of course, we've had a Mother India even way back then. But then how many, right? And it's not a competition. I think as Imran said, which speaks volumes about his sense of security and the actor that he is and the stature he holds, that he saw the merit in the role and the film, and that's about it. And so it's just about that. There of course there's still certain actors. My own male counterparts, you know, if you approach them with something like, "Arey, she's there," तो फिर मैंने कहा पढ़ तो लो, रोल कितना अच्छा है, ऐसा थोड़ी. And I don't come from that kind of PR background that वो सिर्फ PR lines होती है. She will eat up the scene, she will do that.
Correct.
I don't have that kind. I don't have that thought process at all. What is good will stand on its own and shine.
I think it's the same reason why you don't have to meet 2 hero or 3 hero brothers.
Yes.
At all.
Because they are so insecure about who will get more share of the pie and, you know, acknowledgement for the role or any of that. If they're okay playing it in their little bubble that it's going to be them, this protagonist, they'll be a villain, everyone's going to be the sidekick around. So I think that's the narrative that they follow. They've always been following. But I think the younger generation, I don't know if it's changing slightly through OTT and people are seeing that could trickle into theatrical business. But right now, let's get our theatrical business back to normal.
That's right.
Before we go down and start talking about the other things.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, Imran, as I said before, you've done 22 years. You've played hero, villain, everything in between, right? What's your sense of what helps an actor endure? Like, what is the reason for longevity?
I think just sticking in the game and constantly being at it, being resilient, not letting success drive you crazy, not let failure bog you down. It does bog you down, but I think you gotta, know that you can get up and your best days are still out there and you can do better. And just, see, eventually I always come back to this. Success and failure is just this part and parcel. It's like just this byproduct. You have to go to the fundamental reason you're here, if that's the reason you're here. If you're chasing stardom, then you're doomed. Then you're not going to be in this industry for very long. But if you're chasing the process of, okay, I read this script, okay, this is feeling challenging. Let's see how I can put this up on screen. You learn the lines, you go through the process of learning it, going and enacting it, seeing that character form every day. That is something that gets me back on the film set. Even if films fail or they succeed, I think you have to go back to the core essence of what filmmaking is. It's very basic, it's very simple. And there is also the reinvention. There's also that tactical, it's a very strategic thing that is, some people have it, some people don't have it. But, sometimes like an image is thrust upon you and then it kind of plays its part. But you should understand it's reached its saturation point. It's also important to disconnect into other things so that you don't overburden that. Because too much of a good thing also can blow up in your face. It can actually be counterproductive.
Correct. You
get trapped in it.
Yeah.
So it's very important to kind of reinvent. And it's not like I've not been trapped by that. I have been for the longest time, but I didn't know any better. But then I wanted to grow as an actor. If I didn't want to grow as an actor, I think my career would have halted long time back. So that's the longevity. It's the reinvention and constantly being in the game and saying that, okay, let's try this. This one has failed. Let's dust ourselves and kind of let's get back in the game and let's try one more. Yeah.
What about for you? You also spent how many years has it been now?
So 2012.
Vicky Donors 2012.
12.
Correct. Yes.
I think he said some really wise words. I think resilience is really important. It is not possible. Either you'll get success early on and then you kind of have your own shares of, this is not that good phase of your life. So it depends.
Which Vicky Donor was such a big success.
Right. And
yeah.
what followed post that was a lot of things that you don't expect. You don't see it coming and you're too young to kind of try and make sense out of it, right? And you still try to find your feet. Okay, what is it? मुझे क्या करना? मैं क्या करना चाहती हूँ? अच्छा, there's a lot of advices which are floating around. You should do this. ये चलता है.
Correct.
ये करना चाहिए, नहीं ऐसी फिल्म नहीं करनी चाहिए, ऐसी म्यूजिकल करनी चाहिए, लव स्टोरी करनी चाहिए, कुछ any whatever everyone's
Whatever's working at that
working
moment.
at that moment.
Yeah.
And you try everything. You try everything and it still doesn't work. So what is it? So you realize that all you have to do is just go back to the same person that you were when there were no expectations you had from anyone or anyone had from you. I think that's the best space to be in, where success doesn't make you. Of course, when a film does well, you're really happy about it. It's not just success for that film, but also opens up avenues and so many more opportunities, right? But I feel I'm in a position where I've worked and wired myself to be in a way where I'm not too elated, I'm not too attached that, oh yeah, I'm very happy. My day is still spent the way it is spent, like any other day. And if it doesn't work out, then also no problem. But the satisfaction is there that I've given my best. I was part of the film that I believed in. Versus, I knew what I was getting into. I know I didn't have my heart in it. I didn't want to do it, but I just did it somehow. I don't want that feeling. That is what I need. And just to be fearless. Just don't fear any kind of failure. Just do your best. Hold on. Something will be there. Shift gears. That which is why for me, I think in 2019, Bala and Uri, they were absolutely the spin things for me. Right? And so look,
You were
identify.
so good in that. I love that film. I loved your performance.
Thank you. Thank you
so
so
lovely.
much. So you shift gears, and that
Yeah.
is when something will.
Which
will
what you
happen.
were saying, that you don't,
Yes.
like even if you're trapped, you get out.
Absolutely,
you know? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So you have to hold on to it.
Yeah.
This industry tests you in so many ways, shocks you in so many ways that you don't imagine. And still you hold on to it. You're still waiting for that surprise. You're still waiting what's there at the end of this road. Is there something for me? And you still believe, yes, there is something special for me.
Correct.
So, and it does. Life has its way to reward you. Not through awards, maybe, always. Which is fine.
Ask,
Which
were you
is fine.
disappointed? Are you invested in that? The fact that you're nominated but you don't win, does it bother you?
Absolutely not.
नहीं.
Absolutely, बिल्कुल नहीं. आप जूरी में नहीं थे ना?
नहीं.
मजाक कर रही हूँ. नहीं मैम, I've come to, and that's what I really mean it. It's जितनी समझ में आई है भगवद गीता. I think that's so true what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjun. The day you detach yourself, not that I've become that, that most perfect human. Absolutely not. But if you have the ability to detach with the success and the fear of losing, or seeking validation from somebody else's perspective, I think you're fine. You'll be okay. So I've stopped seeking any kind of validation or from anyone कि अगर वो award मिलता है तो मैं बहुत अच्छी actress हूँ, otherwise शायद नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. The fact that my audience loves me, there's certain directors and producers who are willing to take a punt on me and believe that I can play a certain part or be a part of certain film. इससे बड़ा award क्या है जब audience आपको उठाए. बाकी सब आना जाना है, बाकी सब and audience को ही अब पता है कि there's certain, ठीक है, award shows वो भी चल रहे हैं. If it makes somebody happy, great. This is what makes me happy, that काम भी किया और काम खत्म हुआ, घर आए, family के साथ time spend किया. You don't know I don't have to put up, or there's any expectation you have to put everything up on a story or social media or anything. Live that side also of your life. That's really important for me, my family life and my peace of mind, versus trying to look for every answer, trying to feel अरे ये क्यों नहीं हुआ, वो क्यों नहीं हुआ, ऐसे कैसे मैंने बोलना बहुत पहले छोड़ दिया. 7 साल पहले छोड़ दिया था और मैं बहुत खुश हूँ तब से. तो ऑडियंस मेरे लिए रिवॉर्ड भी और अवार्ड भी.
That's lovely. I have one last question, because after seeing, of course, your lovely cameo in Bads, I also remembered how songs were such a critical part of our lives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When Raghav breaks into Kaho Na Kaho, it just puts
Yeah.
this smile on your face.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you miss the lip sync song.
Yeah.
And now it's all just montages
Yeah.
and people walking in slow motion. I don't know. Do you miss
You know,
it?
it's very funny. I was actually the same conversation was taking place in my house. My wife was saying the same thing. There was some film going on. There was some, I think it was a Dharma film that was on, and I think people were singing on the streets, and I was like, she was like, where is this gone? Why aren't people doing this in films anymore? Why they're not celebrating love this way? It's become so somber and so understated. I think that's the reason why we're seeing this kind of shaky ground that we are on. You know, first of all, it's yes, music is one thing. It's the emotional bandwidth that you have in films that has been kind of, muted to a
Yeah.
sense. I don't know if it was appeasing the multiplex audiences after 2014, that people felt, acha, instead of filling up 500 people in a single screen theatre, let's appease these 100 people in a multiplex theatre, but let's do it according to their elite taste, make it very niche and nuanced. In that nuance, I think we've lost the core value of what our films used to first of all bring to the table. And that's what South films still do. They still, it's their heart on their sleeve, they play to the front gallery. And we are not doing that. We are saying things in whispers and hushed tones in films. And that's become the language of it, through and through the film. And also music. And I'm not saying this because, music is still good, but there was something about the melodies back then. It's become about the algorithm right now. And I know I'm not going to take any names, but I've sat with people where they've said that, nahi, ye gana, I'm reacting to a melody and said, let's have this track. It's a fantastic melody. हाँ लेकिन ऐसे गाने नहीं चल रहे हैं आजकल. Because if you see the algorithm,
Right.
it's that. But I'm saying you can't go by algorithm. You have to go, what's it making you feel right now, this song? It's not about even the singer, how popular the singer is or how many people he's got on Instagram or whatever. It's this voice, the song, it's the feeling it's leaving you with.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it's a lot of suits coming into this, a lot of people crunching numbers, balance sheets. It's become less about creativity. It's become more about plus and minus numbers. But I just hope it comes back.
So, Imran,
We're
no
going to get it
pressure.
back.
Yeah,
Avarapan is
relying on
coming
you.
back. Avarapan is coming back. And we're going to have some really banger tracks in that.
Bilkul. And please sing.
No, of course.
Lip sync
Of course.
away.
I'm the guy who's endorsing that and saying that please let me lip sync
Yeah.
the song. But
Yeah.
if there's space for that, we will.
Good. Acha, speaking of family, Yami, after Haq in November, there is Dhurandhar in December. Okay, Aditya's massive movie that's already creating major waves. Who's more nervous on a Friday morning, you or him?
I think we're very excited. We're really excited. I think I'm sure there are butterflies, and even if Aditya is nervous, he'll never let me know. I don't
Acha,
think
he's
so.
like stoic.
Absolutely. He'll still be the same person. He'll still be happy. He'll still be smiling, calm, extremely calm. We talked about multi-stars today, and I really believe that Dhurandhar is going to be one of the last multi-stars.
It's got an incredible cast.
Yeah.
And whatever I've watched of the film, whatever I know of the film, what I've read about the film, it moved me right from day one. I'd read a couple of scenes and we were still shooting for Article 370. And Aditya said, I've written something, would you like to read? I said, yeah, sure. And by the time he was back, I was so moved. I had tears in my eyes. I said, what happened? Are you okay? And I was expecting at that time, which of course no one knew. So I said, yes, I'm okay. I don't think I was ready for this. It's not my hormones. I really feel that this is a great script. Aditya, I am so happy for Aditya. Of course, he's my husband. He's my world. But as a professional, if I have to strictly talk about a director, someone who's so committed, and for him, his script being so sacrosanct and not taking it for granted even one bit. वही प्रोजेक्ट वाली बात कि अच्छा है मेरे पास एक्टर्स भी है, टीम है, everything has to be on paper, everything has to be correct before I take this big plunge and such a big investment, right, from producers. He feels all of that. He puts everything on his shoulders and doesn't show that the amount of weight, but what he's done with that film, Aditya and his team, I think it's something which we'll all remember for a really long time.
How wonderful.
And I'm really, really happy for him. I'm really excited for him. And I'll always be that actor. And I tell him, I said, you know, it's not about just success or anything, but for an actor to get an opportunity with a director who can give that depth and perspective to his acting. It's not about teaching someone how to act, but just giving that the right direction, the shape, the perspective from script to your understanding of character. I think that's wonderful, and I really miss that. And so I think we're in for something, for a very
Lots
special
of
year
excitement.
end.
Lots of excitement. Guys, it's time now to update our IMDb watch list with your favorite films. And these are basically your 5 10 on 10s, which means 5 movies that the two of you rate 10 on 10, individually, of course. So who wants to go first?
Yummy. Okay, I'll go first. Sholay being that epic film that everyone loves.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a black and white film of Mr. Raj Kapoor called Jaagte Raho way back. Cinema Paradiso. A film that I've watched many times is Terminator 2, James Cameron. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
That's a great list. Yummy.
Smita Patel, I've been a huge fan of. I think Smita ji, right, be it Bazaar, be it Mirch Masala, be it so many films of hers. Shiva, I thought Company, that drama of the 90s, right? And I loved Kahani. I think you have to go back in the last 15 years. I think that's a film I've really enjoyed watching.
Our watch list has been updated
quite a bit.
Quite well.
Yes.
Quite well. Yummy, Imran, thank you so much. This
Thank
was
you.
so much fun. And